Okay, y'all, I'm out taking my walk once again. So we don't need to worry about fancy overlays when I'm out taking the walk. I got my lemonade and my drinks here. No alcoholic beverages, y'all, just so you know. I don't have that here. So, and I'm not downgrading anyone that's drinking a sip of wine while they're listening to this video. I'm just letting you know, for all purposes, that these drinks you see in the shadow here are not alcoholic beverages, okay? Because, you know, people can see the shadow like, she got a lot of drinks there. One is a lemonade. It's good for asthma. So this video is basically about, don't worry about what the narcissistic people say or sociopaths say when your documentation and case history shows different, right? Let me repeat that once again. Do not worry about what the narcissistic people, sociopaths, even misled empathic people that are flying monkeys, that are helping keeping up the mess because they don't understand narcissism. Don't let what they say bother you when your documentation says different. So for example, the narcissist says, well, these people are afraid of you. I mean, they're running for their life from you and this and that. And you should treat them better because they're so unsafe. And oh my God, they're just so scared. But really, they're manipulating the person, which is narcissistic. Most likely, I mean, people like this a lot of times are not empathic, because if they really were, they would be able to see through more of the game that some of the narcissists are playing, especially when they outright know the story somewhat from at least the beginning, the middle of it to the end. But they claim they're trying to help, right? So this is very important because you can experience a situation where, because you didn't call law enforcement, you didn't contact the courts, you did not contact, in some cases, it may be child protective services, adult protective services, whatever agency that might need to be contacted. If you didn't get on top of that right away, what that narcissist or narcissistic person is now saying, because the real abusers that are in trouble or homeless or whatever are making up this stuff. So what they say could very well be harmful if it's documented and believable. But if you've already updated the police department, child services, whomever, what they say don't mean nothing. And another thing, if it's a runaway situation with teenagers and they start staying at other people's houses, other people that they're going to be victimizing and manipulating, you have to have those teenagers in the system as runaways, okay? Because they're runaways, okay? You have to do it that way. And I'm just giving you an example. Let me try to think of another example. A woman or man that's being abused by their mate or family member, and they never get the police involved. And remember this, getting the police involved is not always so somebody can be arrested. It's so that there's a record of what happened to you. Many times nowadays, they're not doing a lot of arrests unless somebody just come over and kill you or shed blood or do serious bodily harm. But at least it's on file. Okay, so don't worry about what the narcissist says. And another thing, don't be baited in. So for example, if you're at odds with the narcissist through the phone conversation and that narcissist asks you, well, do you want to come to the house and talk about this? Or did you want to pick such and such up? Or do you want to try and see if they'll listen to you? The narcissist wants to front you off in front of whomever he or she is talking about. So don't be baited in, because what happens is, remember this, when you go to somebody's house, they're almost 9 times out of 10 in the right. Okay, because you showed up at their house, and according to that incident report that narcissist is going to file, whether they tell the truth or a lie, it's going to be against you, and they're going to be able to say, she came to my house, he came to my house. So when that narcissist and you are in a heavy debate, you may be in more danger than the narcissist, because that narcissist is able to say, they came over here and started trouble, and can maybe potentially restrain you from their home. So don't go. Because remember this, the people that, even if it's an empathic person doing it, but the thing is, if someone's empathic, they're not going to be baiting you in on purpose to start something. So if I'm empathic and I tell you, come to my house, let's talk about it, I am really not inviting you so we can get into a fight. Now, when you come, it could go bad and we get into a fist fight, an argument, or a yelling match, right? But because I'm empathic, you were not set up. It's just that it went wrong when you came. And it's usually because the person that came disrespected me, and I didn't like it because I'm empathic. However, when a narcissist or someone that's highly narcissistic is baiting you in, even though it appears from the surface that they're helping, they understand the empathic person's temperament along with their love and protection for their family. So especially like if it's teenagers involved, it's your elderly mom or dad, it's people involved that's being taken care of by this potentially narcissistic person. And so you're at odds on the phone, you're in disagreement, and then the narcissistic person is like, well, just, you want to come over? Don't take your ass over there. Okay, and especially listen to people that love you. Someone that loves you that says, don't go in that house over there. Don't go in the house. Just stay from over there. So listen to other empathic people that have some level of empathy that give you good advice also. Because at the end of the day, it's just not good, okay? So remember, don't worry about what they say. Worry about your paper trail. Okay, so if the narcissistic person says something like, well, this 18-year-old and whatever, they're scared of you or whatever, who cares when they're in the system as runaways? Who cares when the police are already involved? And if talk to your son or daughter or niece or nephew and told them to stop doing this, this, and that, and already there's been police calls for family disputes, or there's been police calls for elderly abuse or spousal abuse. So it could be any of these situations that people go through. So don't worry about it. I mean, let that narcissistic person talk, because really they want more information. They may not believe you have your ducks in order, okay? And they're just nosy as hell. They trying to get more information and trying to gain some control. And at the end of the day, a lot of times this person that's talking about somebody scared of them, they got a big brother, little brother, uncle, son, daughter over there kicking their ass. So see, a lot of these narcissistic people, they lack the ability to gain the respect that you gain. So, okay, you spank your child. You didn't break his arm, beat him bloody and none of that. You just slap that little, you know what, right? And he needed it. I mean, he or she needed it. Calling names, doing what they want to do. These are just examples. Or you got a husband has to slap his brother-in-law for beating up on his wife's mom, because that's his mother-in-law. You know, it could be situations like that. It can vary. The situations are not always the same. However, the narcissistic person that's so-called trying to help lacks the ability to fully handle their own situation. So they give bad advice too. Don't worry about that neither. If you believe in corporal punishment and you don't abuse it, but you believe, hey, I'd rather spank than my child grow up like this, it's better to do that than to not spank, be in fear of your own child, and this teenager or young adult or even middle-aged adult is beating the crap out of their own parents. And we're talking about decent parents, y'all. I don't care if the parents ain't decent. If you want to beat up somebody that gave birth to you or that brought you in the world, your mom or dad, you know, your mom births you, but your dad still brings you here too, because if he hadn't met your mom, you wouldn't be here. So they lack control of their own situations. And so they see the level of respect that you're getting. And remember, all narcissists will be afraid of your respect and jealous of it. So if they see that your kid, nephew, or whomever, cousin is more humble or afraid to hit you, they wish they were in your shoes, for real. Because their relative is kicking their ass. Kicking their ass. And they trying to tell you not to do any corporal punishment. Because at the end of the day, they're afraid to stand up and do what's right. And let me tell you this. You ain't doing no teenager or your in-laws no favor by continuing to think that all problems go away without a slap. Okay? Because believe you me, I'm here on this video right now because when I was a child, especially a teenager, I got that 1 or 2 slaps. And I want to thank the Lord for everybody that loved me enough to give me that slap, because I never spent one day in the penitentiary. So I'm witnessing as to the power of that slap. I'm not talking about no abuse, but you cannot let no teenager believe that they can beat up on you, run around in society, disrespect, and do what the hell they want to do. But see, the narcissists and narcissistic people that get involved and start helping out, and in some sense it may be a help, like maybe a place to stay or financial support, but at the end of the day, when you look at full-blown foresight, that narcissistic person is still destroying their family and yours with their so-called help. So I'm gonna end this by saying, it doesn't matter what they say. Focus on that paperwork and those documents and laugh at it when they say it. Because you got the text, the paperwork, the incident reports, the petitions, you got it on file, because when day one, when it started popping off, some religious or somebody that really loves the Lord might have even said, you got to get law enforcement involved, ma'am or sir. So don't worry about what they say, because they're going to believe the lies of the abusers. And abusers can be adults, teenagers, middle-aged people, and in some cases, elderly people that do not have dementia or amnesia or Alzheimer's. Some elderly people do not have these illnesses and are just mean narcissists, okay? But a lot of them are being abused because they're sick, empathic people, and they're sick narcissists. I mean, you got sick narcissists that get abused too. Being abused has no personality disorder connected to it. It's just they're being abused. And it's unfortunate for anybody to be abused. But don't worry about what they say. Get your coffee, get your lemonade. Make sure, like I said earlier, especially when it's teenagers, you gotta have that runaway report in the system. And that's your trail right there. So just shut that down. So if somebody come to you, oh, well, you're abusing these teenagers or whatever, you know, these teenagers bringing knives, weird bandanas in your house, they doing everything they shouldn't be doing, and you love them so much, that's why you stop at it. Because as their mom and dad, or if they're your nieces and nephews, you don't want these kids in the penitentiary. But then they go find other narcissists that make them feel like victims, and these teenagers and nieces and nephews or whatever may regret it later, because when they end up locked up, they're gonna be sitting in a cell, if they end up locked up, saying, man, I mean, I get it now, I should have listened to her. Okay, so, or listen to him. You could be a man giving the teenager advice. So don't worry about what they say, because they'll say all kind of crazy stuff. Well, I feel like you never deserve to be a mama and or daddy and papa, and I don't think you deserve to be somebody's granddaddy, but you deserve to be it because that's why you raised your grandson. You deserve to be a grandma because that's why you raised your granddaughter and your grandson, or grandpa raising the grandson. So don't worry about what they say, because the Lord was in control of who you were supposed to raise. And if you raised them, you raised them. So don't let no narcissist make up no bunch of lies and make you feel bad because somebody got a spanking, okay? Or somebody got slapped or punched because they beating up on your mother-in-law. Okay, like I said, it can be various different situations. You know, I watch videos on, you know, family disputes and things like that. And I've been in my own situation, so I have experience. So like I said, don't worry about what they say, because a lot of times you're too busy worrying about what they say instead of filing them papers. File them papers and then get off that phone and giggle and remind that narcissist, if it's a teenage situation, say, look, by the way, you harboring runaways. That's all you need to know. Thank you, ma'am, and get off the phone. Thank you, sir, and get off the phone. And again, I'm going to remind you, if they bait you in, don't go. Don't go to that house. Because one thing I could say about narcissists and sociopaths that a lot of empathic people can't control is the things that are said and done to them when they're around that sociopath or narcissist in person. And the things they say and do, whether it be running up on you, trying to fight you, cussing at you, calling you names, it's very hard for empathic people to sometimes control beating their ass. Because what happens is you're going to push your empathic traits to the side and all your narcissistic traits are going to come out, and you're going to whoop that narcissist and sociopath's ass. You're going to stab that narcissist and sociopath. You're going to shoot that narcissist and sociopath. All of that's preventable if you're not baited in. So when they be talking about, you want to come over, you want to talk about it, hell no, stay away. Anyway, I apologize. I try not to use too much profanity on this channel, but sometimes that's the way I gotta bring the message to you so you get it, y'all. So I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Re-listen to this video. Guess what? If you're in a situation that this video reminds you of your situation, take some notes. Replay the video, pause it, and write down what I told you to do. I do that, y'all. When I'm on good YouTubers, you know how many YouTubers I'm subscribed to where I wrote down some advice to remember and keep? Okay, so anyway, I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and get your walk in, y'all. I'm getting mine in. I kind of came to a standstill. I mean, I got so much into the video, I kind of stopped moving around because I got my drinks in my hand, and so I was kind of afraid I would drop something. Anyway, Have a beautiful Sunday, y'all, okay? Again, I love you so much, and I got so much content coming to you about different situations. And remember, I don't just describe behavior. The unique thing about this channel is I break down circumstances. I break down the family members that could be doing this to you. I give it to you like a movie. So when I'm talking, you could visually say, dang, she right, man. You could be in the other room and they tripping out on you. And now you know what to do. Now you know what to do. So anyway, again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.